We can enter phases in our lives or relationships where we don't really ever face the truth because we are still learning things. Like you have created this video game for yourself that you've been playing by yourself. And sometimes, even when you're in a relationship with somebody, you can be playing separate games. And if you're never real with each other, then you can kind of both subconsciously agree that we're just going to keep on playing these separate games and never face ourselves. We're never going to be honest and real and own up to what's happening. Hey, it's AR. So this message that came through was really about you and your relationship with God. We went on a bit of a journey here. I kind of channeled this through, so I hope you stick around to listen. Anyways, let's get into it. The reason we're ready to have this conversation now is because we've come to a point in our spiritual growth where you are now at the place where you can hear this and take the steps beyond this. What God is bringing to your attention today is the fact that you have been cheating on God. Now, I say this very gracefully because He's not upset about this and you're not a bad person. And this is not about like, we need to break up now. God is mostly just feeling a little bit sad, a little bit like he's got his hands on his hips, like, come on, you made a promise with me and you went and did other things. That's what's going on here. So basically, for your time up until now, you have been giving your attention and energy in another direction. You have gone and created this world around you and you have left God out of your plans. He has been waiting for you this whole time. Basically, when you came to Earth, one of my chosen people, you made a kind of little promise with God and you said, we are going to do this together. I am your partner in this life. But what happened was you entered the game and at some point along your journey, you entered that mask of illusion or you actually decided to forget all about him. You chose that something else was better. There was like a toy or something that was more interesting. And even though you knew in your heart that what you were doing is heartbreaking, you decided to let that human, that little, you know the feeling. You decided to let them take over and think that you knew the better way, right? It's that almost same energy that you get when you think about cheating on any other person, any other type of relationship, that decision that there is something in the world that is better than your partnership, than your agreement. And so that has maybe been you on your journey of life. You have essentially left God out of your life, and he knows that you have that power and that you can still go off and do great things. But he's sad because he wanted to do this with you. You are the one chance for him to experience your life and that reflection of himself. Whatever you created together, that plan before you came here, that was something that didn't exist until your energy entered the game and you had that conversation and that chemical reaction happened and you guys came up together with this fun plan of how you were going to play your life. So it's like, imagine you and a friend created this cool game together and you said, hey, we're going to go out and do amazing things with this. Like you spent all of this time imagining this game and then you actually decided you were going to go play with somebody else. And more than that, you like didn't even tell them that. You just pretended that you forgot about their existence. So look, I'm not trying to get down on you. As I said, the reason you're hearing this is because you are over that now. You have owned up to all of your pretending, all of your falsities, all of your ignoring, and you are here and ready to be honest. So God was a little bit upset about that, but he is and was always waiting for you, even though he knew you went off and did your thing, even though you went off and did whatever you were doing. He never gave up hope that you were going to come back to him. Actually, he knew that you coming back was always just a head flip away. No matter how far off you went in whatever direction, you were still always that same distance because he always knew that that truth, what you built, what you had together, was always going to be more resonant than anything else. And it would take some time, but eventually, one day, you would wake up and remember, and you two could go exactly into the game as you planned. The amount of love that is there for you is still there. That's not something that you have to re-earn because you stepped away from it. Everything that you've left behind, things you're going to do, your highest potential, that is never something that you can lose. You can step out of it, but the moment you're back in and you're like ready for it, it is cranked up to the max, and you can start to experience life from this place. The decision is yours. God wants you to first acknowledge that, yeah, you have left him behind a little bit. You have strayed from the path. He just wants you to acknowledge that for a moment you had found something more interesting than your connection with him. Get real with that truth. See your life and see the places where, yep, I actually was living this way because I was more interested in something else. But now, where you are in your heart center, you can feel like you are entirely over that. And so, if you're ready, you can rebuild that relationship with God. And again, it's never a relationship that you lose. The love is always there. It will take you having to understand how to experience that, how to go back and connect with your truth. It means that you know you're still going to mess up from here, but you're learning each and every time you do. Even though it is what is rightfully yours, it is naturally all around you, you'll still have to get to know. You'll have to remember how to do what is natural for you. And so what you have chosen versus what is yours is so much higher. What is yours is way high up there. That's not something you can ever change. You decided on this, okay? So every time you return home, you are returning to that. God is happy that we've had this conversation now. You and God are in this game together. There are no people, there are no situations, there are no substances that can have their say. Because the only say is the say of you and God. Woof. So that's my word for you today. I hope there was enough information in there for you to understand. So God is waiting. He has a lot to say, and you have a lot to talk about. If you want to keep this conversation going, then let's continue it in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Take care until next time.